welcome to NUFC Talk Pod. Jan, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, so we're recording this different time this week. We normally do Monday, we're doing a Sunday, so the game finished literally about 2 hours ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
So we're getting a bit more raw emotion, we haven't had the chance to watch a match of the day and listen to the pundits. This is just us, what we thought and what's going on. Wow. But yeah, you're on holiday tomorrow, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, off to Scotland.
Nice.
Just, in fact, the only person that knew where we were going was Harper, because I kept saying it was Berwick, but we're not going to Eyemouth. And Kaylee kept saying we're going to North, somewhere in the northeast, because she didn't realise Eyemouth was actually in Scotland. Harper's been telling we're going to Scotland. Kaylee's like, we're not going to Scotland. Turns out we are going to Scotland, but not Berwick. But yeah, so up there.
Going to Scotland with 6 points in the bag this week.
7?
From last Sunday, I suppose we did a pod Monday, so
okay. Oh yeah.
We'll round it up. Mate, to 7.
Yeah, massive. I think it feels like a big statement to win this.
Yeah, because Carragher was saying that in the comms, wasn't he? That Newcastle need to have a big scalp, which I don't think we do. We need to have a big scalp. They said we were through away 2-goal lead against City, and through away he had to get in through away lead against Liverpool and couldn't beat Man United. I thought, did you just realise Liverpool got beat at Forest yesterday?
Is that 4th in the league, mate? Yeah, as much as Eddie Howe will not be drawn into saying it's a big one, he was asked a few times, how does it feel? Does it feel like a big one? Is it a big result? He's like, no, it's a big result in terms of its latest win. So
yeah,
but he won't be drawn into any of that. But I'll be drawn into it. That's a massive statement. That's a big win. That's a statement going away to what is now a Champions League rival. Because that's yeah. You know, if we're in, I'm not quite sure in the mix properly, but. But going away from home and that's massive, mate.
Especially with the I knew Tottenham were good at home, but the stat I brought beforehand, they've won the last 8 games in a row. At Tottenham.
I thought it was 10 in a row at home in all. Was that all competitions?
Maybe all competition. I was Premier League. Yeah.
Okay.
So they've won 8 to 10 games in a row. That's some record. And then Eddie Howe's mighty Mags coming there. Miggy.
Ballon d'Or
gets a Ballon d'Or boots on.
He's like, what's that film where that lad gets a pair of old boots or something? He turns out he's absolutely class at football. What is it, Jimmy Grimble or something like? That's what Miggy's done. He's found some old pair of boots.
Yeah, but
magic.
Because I came into the game worried, and that's what I'm going to continue to say until we win the Champions League. So, but that's going to be my thing. I'm worried about every game. Then I'll go and give a prediction. So.
But I was chatting to my mate last night.
Was he worried?
Now we were talking about actually we've actually got, and of all the big sides, we've got a decent, I reckon our best record against like the top 6 is definitely against Spurs. If you think of take about the last 10 years, we've always had decent results. Even going back to that run when we had Martins and Nicky, but we were going through some of the squads on this some absolute Pascal Chimbonda and players like that.
Wow.
Some absolute some brilliant some sort of proper throwback Helder Postiga and stuff playing for Spurs, and some random players that anyway we're going through these. Yeah. We probably consider them as to be the side we've had more success against in the top 6, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But I think away from home I would have slapped your hand out for a point
Yeah, definitely before the kickoff. Well, we said 2 pods ago now, I think it'll be, where we came into this 3-game 8-day window. And we said if we can get 5 points from this window, that would be incredible. I think we both kind of expected 4, or 3-4 would have been great.
Yeah.
Sorry, we both expected 3 or 4, but to come away with 7 points, I'm trying not to be like Eddie Howe and get carried away. As long as we're still getting the top 8.
No. I'm off to Europe. I'm like Tyndall in those photos, me. I'm absolutely bouncing.
That's it. You're planning the Champions League when we win the.
I'm booking it now. I'm booking next year's Champions League final.
Yeah. You're like, where would the route be when we lift the Premier League?
Yeah. I think I think that the Man United game, I was probably more expecting that we could get something out of. I thought this was going to be a struggle, especially the way we pressed high, and we are dominating the ball more in games now, or at least having the ball more. I think it would have played into Spurs' hands.
Especially if you look at the first 5 or 10 minutes, like Son could have had pretty much a hat trick.
Aye, yeah, he could have. Aye, and that, but you'd probably say, bizarrely, he had all those chances in the first 10 minutes, but we were the better side. Mm-hmm. We had all the ball, and we looked neat and tidy, and we were all the pressing, but win ball, pass Harry Kane, head up for Son. It's like every time. Mm-hmm. It's like so hard. You know what's going to happen every time, but it's so hard to try. So I don't know what we tweaked, but we stopped it.
Well, maybe just take Sven Botman 5 minutes because he's not used to the Premier League. So I suppose every game for him is new, learning how people play. Yeah. Take some 5 minutes, right? How's Harry Kane playing? How's Son playing? Any bother?
Right.
Fab, we got this.
Yeah, Fab, we'll get on him in a minute. Yeah. Tell you what a player he's looking like now. Like, well, I always said I couldn't understand why he wasn't playing. Like, I don't. He's the one player that I don't think.
I don't think he was ever a bad player.
Yeah, you can't really say, oh, look what Eddie Howe's done to Fabian Schär. He was always like that. He just didn't get a frigging game under Bruce, which was always bizarre. But yeah he looks. See him do like halfway through the second half, did a step over, sold somebody a dummy. I was like, I've got that. Where is he off?
On one of his little adventures and steps over.
And one of the pass for Wilson. If he scores, for Joe Linton, sorry, if he scores that, that's assist of the season. That.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, jumping ahead of it, but yeah,
I know you like ticking off all your points.
I think the first 5-10 minutes, I was thinking, oh, this is how it's going to be. We're going to be right in the game here, but we're going to get done 2-0 out because of Son on the break.
Yeah, it got to 20 minutes, and I remember thinking, well, we've done well to get to 20 minutes, not concede.
Yeah,
and I thought this is going to be quite a long afternoon, but turned out it changed quite a bit, didn't it, mate?
Yeah, I think after the 3 Son chances, which really, other than the actual one-on-one, which I think you have to credit Nick Pope for.
Mm-hmm. Stayed on his
feet. Stayed big. I think Son should probably take it earlier, but he doesn't. So, but the 3 shots are 2 from distance and I don't know from distance. So 3 from distance. I know Son can score from anywhere, but yeah, it's not as if you get peppered from like the 6-yard box. It was just that one. But
what about them? Because in amongst all them Son shots was the Joe Linton penalty shout.
I don't think it is.
Who was it? Emerson Royal he got tackled up with.
He looks like they've bought another bloody Serge Aurier, doesn't he?
Who?
So Serge Aurier.
Give
a pen away every time he's just.
So do you think that was a penalty?
No, I don't think. I think it was. I think it's kind of tangle of legs. I think Joe Linton kind of leaves his leg in there because he's kind of lost the ball. I think actually it's a better touch and he should be putting it in the net. Like.
I agree. I thought first of all his first touch wasn't great. Second thought was I don't think it was a pen. Third thought was if that is Haaland, if that is Mo Salah, if that is Rashford, if that is Aubameyang now.
Probably think if it's Callum Wilson, he takes that in like.
No, I was going to say it's a pen.
Oh, it's a pen. Oh, right. Okay, I think they're finishing it. Yeah.
Oh no, I think if that goes to more strikers, the Premier League strikers, they should be taking a touch and at least getting the shot on target.
Earlier.
But yeah, in terms of the penalty, I don't think it was a pen, but I definitely see them given.
Oh yeah, if it's more Salah.
If that's Harry Kane at the other end, that's a penalty.
Aye. Well, he's the captain.
Yeah, of course.
Probably gets sent off now. What a pass that is, though. What a pass. That is outrageous, that. He splits everybody and just... It's a great run as well, by the way, from Joe Linton.
I suppose we can talk about this now, because it's a point we'll kind of keep touching on and probably will throughout the whole point, the whole match, is how comfortable our defenders all are on the ball. I've never seen so regular a right back, as in Trippier, control a game.
I know, it's mad.
I know, obviously, we've got Bruno in the middle, but Trippier seems somehow to control the pitch from right back, which is bonkers. Dan Burns comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
And then Fabian Schär and Sven Botman can play long balls. They can actually pass through midfields to the forwards. Like they can control the ball, and every time they pass them out, I don't have that fear which we used to have as Newcastle fans.
Yeah, if the difference in like Botman and Schär versus like Clark and Lascelles, and try to go like the two other end of the scale, is if you do press them, like you say, they're comfortable on the ball in terms of like neat and tidy. They don't mind feeding it into the midfielder's feet, but also if you do press them, they can find a pass and a switch of play, like, and they can play a 40-yarder, and actually like 9 times out of 10 it comes off. Whereas if you press like Lascelles, it just gets put down the line or just humped like, or just
ends up with the other keeper
Yeah, it's just and with them recycling the ball and stuff, but yeah, like that's why I think those two, as much as I like Dan Burn, that's why those two are the centre half
Yeah.
pairing for me because of how technically good they are on the ball. We should maybe talk a little bit actually about the starting there. Were you surprised to see? So I was surprised to not see Target. Like I thought Target had got wheeled out on one of these.
No, I know we talked about rotation, and then you kind of convinced us that the big teams are used to playing twice a week over short periods, and then we've got the World Cup break coming up. So if the guys get flogged in the ground for the next couple of weeks, they're going to have that big break. So I didn't think Howe would want to change his back four when it's not broken. I do think it's, and I hate saying this because we all love Big Dan Burn, but I still feel like there's going to be a game where someone's going to have him for pace. Like, looked like Anthony was going to have him a few times at Man United, but just didn't seem to click from that day. Like, if he gets a winger who's nippy on the day, that could be a disaster down there.
Yeah.
Does that mean just being the old Newcastle supporter way? This is the negative that's going to
Probably, but I think in that one game, you probably outweigh that with superb area at the back. Absolutely superb. He's great in our box at the back. He does win things offensively, though. He's got no goal threat, really. But he's superb like in our box. And obviously, he doesn't maraud and overlap as much as like... He gets forward, but he seems to tuck in, almost like the Cancelo role. He sort of tucks inside. He just play that more tucked in, doesn't he? He doesn't tend to go on the outside and overlap and make the overlap and run.
Were you expecting to see Target there today? Then?
I just probably not in this game. Maybe I expect to see him at Everton.
Right.
I expect to see him one of the games in these like 3 and 7 days, or whatever. So I think that's probably the most surprising thing. We haven't seen Target like at all. But I think what it does is it does allow like Trippier to play really high because like Dan Burn doesn't get quite as high as Trippier, so you can almost push Trippier right out there.
Because I don't know if it just happens naturally, I'm sure it must be coaching because I've noticed this pattern. But like you mentioned there, when Trippier does go marauding up, we do almost slip back into a back three.
Yeah.
And you do see the players, like when Trippier comes back in, go like further along the pitch and change into a back four.
Yeah, I think that's probably what you would naturally get more offensive play from Target, which is why I thought he'd play more at home. And we still might play him in home games where we really think we're going to batter teams or need to rest. But yeah.
Back four the same. Middle three, Longstaff, Willock and Bruno. Top three, Miggy, Wilson and Joe Linton. That was made me surprised, but then is that because Murphy's been running himself from the ground and he maybe wanted to give Joe Linton a start? But then Joe Linton did come off at half time against Everton because he was looking sluggish, wasn't he?
Well, I think there's 2 schools of thought. There's the Eddie Howe says he got a knock on his knee and he's been carrying some weight, or there's he was going to get sent off because he got a silver yellow, and so there was.
Yeah. The Everton game, which we'll talk about briefly at the end of this one.
But I reckon he's protecting them. And he thought, I'll just take them off.
Okay.
I was a bit surprised to see Big Joe. I don't think he's effective going forward. Doesn't have the kind of pace to get behind. Although he makes a great run for that chance. But I think he's obviously gives you so much graft off the ball, and he presses really well. So yeah, surprised, but seemed to work. I think about this time in the game when they were seeming to be breaking us and finding Harry Kane very early. I thought you could have switched Joe Linton and Willock round. Obviously, I'm glad they didn't in the end. But I thought that's maybe because Willock's got loads of energy and stuff. But when we don't, I think it's really noticeable when we don't have Joe Linton in the midfield. Like he's really combative, isn't he?
Still bizarre saying that sentence. Even though it's been best part of a year now, it still is weird saying we missed Joe Linton in the middle.
I just think he's so combative, But next thing's probably the Wilson goal there.
Well, there was a Kane chance which Pope pulled off a big save, and this is when Longstaff lost a. I'm just looking back because we watched this game. I've wrote down loads of notes as we came into this, so I'm trying to go through the ones which I want to pick out. At this point, we were just starting to get a bit of possession because the ones before that I was a bit frustrated. And this was the first time we looked like we were moving up the pitch. I know we had the odd one opportunity, but we took control of the game for a little bit. And Longstaff gets the ball nicked from him, doesn't he? Breaks
touch as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a bad touch, which I know they had that stat on about Longstaff before the game, where he's actually covered more distance than any other Newcastle player per 90 minutes this season. Did you see that?
No, didn't see it.
Yeah, so per 90 minutes, he's been our player with the biggest work ethic, which is great to see. But
who was like? Remember who was like the next on the list?
it just flashed up when he was like doing the pre-match warm up. It flashed up with that stat on, but still doesn't forgive some of his wayward passing. Like, even the Everton game, there was a few passes he didn't seem to see, and this one he lost the ball where he just showed too much. It was a Benton car, someone nicked it off him, and then Kane broke up and had a shot save Pope.
Yeah, with his foot. Yeah, with his foot. Yeah, because Kane runs like from the halfway line basically, and I think he's got Shaw backing up, and he's like faint to go left, go right, go left, and he takes it left in the end and tries to drag. He doesn't find the corner. And Pope makes a good save with his foot, doesn't he?
I can't remember his foot, his hand, but anyway, it was a good save from all Pope. Like,
but I think that's the more concerning thing with Longstaff. It's not like wayward passes, like that sort of stuff's going to happen. Like over a game, he'll probably still have a decent ratio of passes he completes.
I think that's where,
but
over the next 12, 18 months of transitions, the squad changes. That part of his game still, he has definitely got better under Eddie Howe, but that's still part of his game which hasn't seemed to massively improved, is his ability to see a pass and sometimes even hit the most simple passes.
Well, I think he's got a good range of passing. And I actually think he's frustrating because in actual fact he's probably more likely to hit the 40-yarder than he is to hit the 6-yard pass.
Yeah.
But for me, the more like concerning thing is how can you still be getting caught in the ball, wanting too much time and time again. Like the Bentancur one is to put. It's not even. The touch isn't away from his body. The touch is like in him, but it's just like
he just shows the ball too much.
Shows the ball too much, and the amount of time he has his head up, waiting, and then it's just I don't know what.
It's a weird.
How do you sharpen that up in somebody just to?
Because he shows them the ball, but then it's not as if he gets nicked from coming behind him or the blind side or anything. Like, how did you not know that he was going to come and take the ball off you when he was running towards you?
It's just he just wants a little bit more time than he's got, and I think like that would be the bigger concern rather than the wayward passes are going to happen now and then. But like, it's the consistency in which every game, every game, he gets his head up for too long and loses the ball.
Yeah,
and that would be more of a worry.
And then next, mate, we have the next talking point is the goal.
The goal,
which was put over the top by, was it Charlotte put it over the top again?
I think it might be now.
Lloris came out and he had an absolute nightmare, didn't he? Absolute nightmare. He seemed like was his chest it or head it and ran into Wilson. And
he like thighs it down, doesn't he? But he's just.
So the bit which is really impressive about this goal, the ball comes behind Wilson, so he has to turn, and he hits it with his left foot. That's just instinct. That chips it over the defender, finds the back neck. Cause you see them chances missed so many times, and that was an incredible goal poacher's instinct, but also to have the skill to chip it over. That was a great goal.
It's
such a great goal.
It's sort of a composure on that as well. It's so reminiscent of the one against Burnley where Nick Pope dropped it and he took a touch, and then chipped it over everyone and find the top. Like,
because you see them opportunities get snatched, or someone takes a touch and tries to lash it,
or takes too long and waits and then doesn't pull the trigger fast enough. Whereas he takes one touch, I think after it pops off to him. Takes a touch and then just over the top of the Eric Dyer, I think it was. But
so is it a foul?
Nah.
Seen Ben Foster on Twitter's he's on the goalkeeper's club shouting, if that happens anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick. So how is that not a free kick there?
I think it's two reasons. First of all,
it's not a free kick.
It's not. First of all, I think he's not playing the ball like around Wilson and then getting it there again. He's played the ball and Wilson is stood there. Wilson's not making a tackle. Wilson's not attempting to get the ball. He's just stood there. It's such a poor touch that he has to try and run through Wilson to get the ball. Said it before. Said it on the pod we used to do last year. Like, I think he's been overrated for about 3 years now. He's so far past it now. He shouldn't be anywhere near a top 6 side. Lloris, yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think he could be great in the dressing room and all that sort of stuff, and World Cup winner and all that. But I think he's
club captain and all that jazz.
But I just think he's overrated. And then the worst thing about it is, in actual fact, if he didn't fall down and just like pressured Wilson, and you know he might have made Wilson's got to try and get rid of the goalkeeper, then like maybe make a pass, and then he can get back in the line, whatever. But he just falls on his arse and starts waving his arms around. Yeah, not a fault for me.
Because there was a feed which popped up where there's a Tottenham page started talking about the foul. So I was like, I'll just be interested to have a read, see what they say. And half the Tottenham fans are like, it's a foul, it's a foul, it's a foul. The other half of Tottenham fans are saying, Lloris should have just been strong like Wilson, stayed on his feet, competed for the ball. A defender could have come and took over from him and given him a chance to get back in his line. So half the Tottenham fans are blaming Lloris, but half of them are just probably still a bit pissed and putting their hands up in the air. So
good goal though.
I didn't think it was a foul at all, but I did think VAR was going to overturn it.
I didn't actually. I was like,
I'm glad there's a bit of common sense came in. But yeah, I was expecting to get overturned.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh, that could be. But in actual fact, when I kept seeing it on replay, I was like, I don't think it's anything in this. Like, although that all being said, I think Wilson knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah,
he's not like, oh, I'm trying to get out your way. He's like, he stands there and gives it these big.
Because it's the bit where he's put his arm up so Reece can't get past him.
Aye,
and because of that arm, that's the thought part. I thought we could get pulled up on that.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, but he does it really like cleverly.
He's a centre forward. He's played professional football for a long time. He knows some of the dark arts.
Yeah,
he always plays on the edge.
And the fact he played on, took his shot, and then could bitch and piss and moan at the referee for all game if it got disallowed. But yeah, solid. I think the next thing was Joe Linton's shot, which I've written down, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, at one point, it looked like it was going to go screaming at the top corner.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
It must have hit one of the posts behind it. So, yeah. Joe, again, being able to charge forward, great with one with the ball, but he should still probably lay shots off to other people.
Just pass.
Yeah.
At this point now, I think like we are like on top and sort of bossing the game. In actual fact, whatever, because I don't want to jump ahead at the end, but Eddie Howe in his post-match said he was talking about the fact they made some adjustments throughout the game, maybe, and he was pressed on a little bit. What do you adjust? You know, when he says something like maybe the centre forward being further forward, slightly further back, or or coming deeper, or whatever, and same with the other players. I don't know what they did, but they started to nullify the threat of the ball at Harry Kane, because Kane, everyone knows what he's going to do. When that first 10-15 minutes, they get the ball on Kane, and he just turns and finds somebody who runs off the ball. We seem to stop that a bit. Like, I think at this point in the game, I didn't see the counter attack threat quite as much. Or
the only bits I noticed, and again, I've only watched this once through in a few rewound parts, but it looked like one of our holding midfielders dropped a bit deeper. Wilson dropped a little bit deeper, so kind of filled in, not like the third midfielder role, but he came a bit deeper, and our wingers still stayed on the high line.
Right, okay.
That makes sense. So,
right, okay.
So the defenders couldn't completely come and get us too compact. So, and with Miggy and Joe Linton were still playing
really high
left wing. Yeah, they were still playing high, but Wilson seemed to drop deep.
Right, okay. And is that it's trying to stop the ball getting fed into like Harry Kane, you think?
I'm presuming so, because for that first 10 minutes it was all one way traffic. Like you said, it was clear as day how the ball was going to Kane. Kane was finding Son, and if you give that to Tottenham for 90 minutes, they're going to put 2 or 3 past you.
He is class at that, like Kane. Like he is absolutely outstanding at that role. Like, because he's got the vision of like a centre midfielder. He plays like he's like, you know, he's got the passing ability of like a centre midfielder, but he's got like strength, like a proper hold up forward player.
But then, does that make you worry? I suppose not for us, not Tottenham fans, but that's 2 games in a row now they've been beaten by Man United and by us, just by nullifying that one director. They don't seem to have a plan B. Do you know what I mean? When they seem to play two up top, and then when they had 3 up top for the second half, they seemed to give us a few more problems.
Yeah, but you also take in Kulusevski out the side, who's better than Mora and gives him more balance on the right. And then you take in Richarlison, who's like a shit house, but like very, very good.
Yeah.
So I think you take them two out and it's going back to like the Mourinho squad, in it really. I actually
Maybe it turns out Mourinho actually isn't as bad as what everyone says he is.
exactly. I think what is probably more frustrating from a Spurs point of view is the fact they're still, even though they've got like Bentancur now in the middle, they've got Højbjerg who can play a bit. I know Oliver Skip, I don't really rate that too highly. They still don't seem to. They've got obviously Basuma and stuff as well. Like, they still don't seem to get on the ball in midfield.
Yeah, when I saw that Højbjerg was he injured or he suspended today? He wasn't playing.
That was, yeah, because they played Basuma, didn't they? Basuma, Skip, and
Oliver Skip. It was his first start since January. So I was thinking there's a reason why he hasn't started for 9 months.
aye.
So I was quite relieved to see that Højbjerg had, I don't know again if he was injured or yellow cards or what, but he wasn't in the squad.
He must have been because there was no mention, because I think he was tipped to be having it like it'd be a bit of a wild card shout on FPL, wasn't he? Because he had a couple of goals at home recently. Aye. Even though he plays like super deep, and I don't know if you got him in your team, you're nuts, but aye, all of our get him in the skip is not that much, is he?
No, unfortunately, but for us it was great. And then next, mate, we've got this kid called Mickey on the wing who likes scoring goals for fun.
Oof, what a player.
So I keep expecting him to all of a sudden go shit again. And I know that you change your mindset as a Newcastle supporter, but every time I see Miggy on the ball, I'm like, he's just going to fucking run it the touch.
Yeah.
Or he's going to try and take it back past someone, and he's going to not get past his first man. Or he's just going to turn back on himself and somehow pass it to Lascelles. Wow. The way he took the ball, took it past his man, controlled it in the box, and then put it past him at a tight angle. Like, it was another really good Miggy goal that makes it 5-5 for Miggy.
Nuts that, like. It's it's quality from him. I forgot.
Do you feel like that about Miggy, or is it just me?
Oh yeah, I still expect him to be shit most of the time, like, but I'm starting to have a bit more faith in him. When he gets side note, don't get too ahead of yourself. He had about 9 shots, like when it's like trying to volley them out the air and all sorts, like. But
that's the Miggy I expect.
yeah. When he, I think first of all, it's good from Longstaff. That's probably where Longstaff is getting praise from Eddie Howe, because it's him that goes and presses the ball out wide. Lloris, poor ball, I think it is to Sessegnon. Longstaff presses him. Miggy wins it. Clement Lenglet, who I forgot was even there.
Yeah.
I was like, when did I sign him? I knew he was there, but I forgot he was there, I think. But he might as well not have been there. He just stood there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Honestly, he's like a cardboard cutout.
Where did you get him from?
Was he a Barca a few years ago, was he?
I had no idea. I just Googled who he was again. I forgot.
Because he was going to be class when he a few years ago, apparently. But anyway, he stood there like an absolute statue, like, and Miggy just gives him the old, like, I've not got a right foot, don't need one, mate.
Yeah.
Straight through. He seemed to have so much time. I don't know why Lenglet doesn't back off a little bit and try and, or like, run next to him or try attack. I don't know what. Like, try and defend maybe. I don't know. But and then Lloris, opposite to Nick Pope, Lloris excels himself there early, doesn't he? Like
yeah, because with Lloris and these Premier League footballers, we know what Miggy's going to do. We know where he's going to put it. He's only got his left foot.
Aye.
The way he's shaping his body, he's going to put it to the keeper's right. So Lloris goes down to his left and gives him the space where, it was. But great finish, but I think Lloris could have done better there.
Yeah,
he made himself small pretty quick.
I think it's his fault as well. The pass to put like Sessegnon under pressure, like it's not a great ball neither. Like.
Yeah, I put a tweet on saying Hugo Lloris 2 assists in 5 minutes.
Aye, it's quality. But yeah, quality from Miggy. Great finish.
Yeah.
5-5. Nuts in it.
Mental. And then that took us into half time, walking in 2-0 up, and then the heavens seemed to open.
It was pissing down, wasn't it?
Yeah, so all the Newcastle fans take the tops off, and you saw the Tottenham fans all seemed like huddle under the stand, and
there was like some 10-year-old kid with his shirt off or something. I was like, Christ.
Yeah.
All right, Dad, get your shit back on, will you? Either way, wasn't they? But second half came out. I thought we started well. Second half, I thought we looked good for I thought first sort of 10 minutes of the second half, I was expecting a Spurs backlash. In actual fact, like Newcastle were the better side again. I thought it was like, oh, here we go, like it's good again.
Yeah, because the first 60 minutes, between 45 and 60 minutes, we had more possession, we had more shots. They had one shot, which was the one which obviously Kane scored. But it felt like they were chasing the game, but somehow we had more possession and had more attempts. It was a bizarre start the second half.
And we had so many corners as well. It felt like we had a corner every 5 minutes, like. Well, more than that, because we had more than 3 in 15 minutes. 2 corners every 5 minutes. But I think at that point, there was no point where I was like, oh, this is like we're getting back to the wall battered here, even when Kane scored.
So before the Kane goal, there's the Joe Linton header where he's trying to keep the ball from going out of play. You could argue he's heading back towards Wilson, but I don't think he's getting there. And Emerson Royale hits his hand. Is that a penalty, yes or no?
It could be yes, could be no. Genuinely, like
because last week, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we saw Dan Burn giving not yellow card, giving away for a pen. Then
and his arm was up here, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, you saw one in the Liverpool game which wasn't given as a pen. Like them ones there, literally toss of a coin. Is it a penalty?
Yeah, check the badge.
Check the badge. But letter of the law or the letter of the rules, or whatever, that is a penalty.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to be like whinging on too much that we didn't get it, but I know. Yeah, because
another day, if the result doesn't go the way it is,
I'll whinge on then.
That's a penalty. But now we're like picking up points for fun. We're like 2-1, 3-1 doesn't make no difference.
But
I had Callum Wilson, my dream team, and he was a differential at only 2% owned. That was a fucking penalty.
I think that is just honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Is it a penalty? 1 week, could be another week. In the same game, in the bloody one where Dan Burn give the penalty earlier on in that game, didn't we have one that was crossed in, hit somebody's arm, didn't get a penalty for it in that same game?
So I was listening to Ali McCoist on TalkSport when he had Dan Burn on, and Ali McCoist was saying, look, I don't know what's penalties anymore. Like, literally, you watch it, and there's no point of saying that's a pen, that isn't a pen, if it hits someone's arm, because it's literally how the referee interprets it. You might as well toss a coin and just see what happens. But I didn't think the Joe Linton one was a penalty in terms of when he got fouled by.
No, I didn't think that was. No.
But this one, I did.
You think it's a pen, do you?
The handball, yeah.
Well, you think all them are pens because they were on the Dan Burn when it like the shot that bounced off his leg hit him in the arm.
No, that wasn't a pen.
That's not a pen.
No,
check badge.
No, that was his thigh and his chest or whatever. But
hits his arm, though.
No,
he did. No, definitely hits him in the arm.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying his arm was tucked in, so he hit his thigh first. So I don't think that one was. But the Dan Burn one against Brentford, I do think it was a penalty based on the rules.
Because his arm's in a natural position.
Yeah. But then I also think that today was a penalty based on the rules.
They should just take out a natural decision. They should just take a national
national campaign.
That was one kind of course it is getting. They should take a natural position out of the law because it's if I saw somebody running at me with his arms down by his side, I'd be like, what the fuck is that nut job doing? That's the most unnatural thing in the world.
But seeing all these centre halves running with their hands behind their backs,
there's nothing more natural than that. Here you are.
That's so unnatural. Like there's everyone running about with no arms.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
is that a penalty though? Yes or no? Would you give that if you were VAR? Take away the badge. Take away the badges.
No, I don't think so. I think it's because it's so close.
Okay.
I think it's got to be like I'm just going to say a random figure of 5 foot, but of different. Or no, it's going to be in yards. It's football in it. No one knows what a foot means in football. 2 yards.
So what about the Dan Burn one against Brentford? Was that a penalty? Yes or no?
The only thing I'm going to say yes, but the only reason I would potentially say no is because it's about 9 foot in the air. He's all the way up here.
Yeah.
It's Dan Burn. Yeah. He's all in the air. Scratching the clouds.
Right, Kane, 2-1. Talk me through it.
Should have been offside. Definitely hit Sanchez for a start. No, I don't know. I don't think it does. Although VAR were like, let's look at this for 20 minutes to see. Does it clip him? I was watching it with Kaylee and she's like, it does. It definitely hits me. You see the ball deviate? I'm like...
I'll be honest, I thought one of the angles you saw it came off his shoulder and just the tiniest. Do you want to start seeing decisions No, so
But if it's clipped them, it's offside. So if it's clipped them, I do want that to be offside, 100%.
so I that's just,
But I just don't think it hit him. Personally, I just think it was
I
close.
thought it did. I agree with Kaylee. Your missus is right, you're wrong. She knows more about football than you.
Harry Kane's a dream team though, so I don't mind that.
Yeah,
Although
no.
I did take my clean sheet away from Trippier and Pope, so I'm probably worse off. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's just a corner of the box flicked. Harry Kane does Trippier at the back post.
Yeah.
Not sure why Kane Trippier, the dwarf, is like marking Harry Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Seems that he'll get one of those 5 centre halves that will go play marking Harry Kane. Like
We've got all these absolute 6-foot monsters and we've got Trippier and about 5'4".
yeah, but I think Kane just does really well. It's like I didn't actually see who headed it, but as soon as it went in, I was like that will be Kane surely at the back post, and then I saw him coming out, and I was like,
Yeah, underneath Trippier.
Yeah, but I just expected to be Kane there. You got so many goals just lingering around at the back stick. That's it, lighting about there. So, but solid. It's good from Kane though. It's absolutely brilliant. Like just spins him.
Then from 60 to pretty much 70, 75 minutes, maybe 80 minutes, there was backwards and forwards. We had the Shah step over. There's a few bits we can talk about and get on about this for another hour, but
The Willock to Wilson shot. Spurs made a couple of subs.
yeah, our subs were, we had Murphy for Willock on 75, and then we had John Joe coming on for Bruno.
Nice to see him back. Like
Last few minutes, and then Wood getting his appearance bonus coming on for the last couple of minutes for Wilson.
he's get. I still can't understand it. Like, still can't understand how you can take a guy off who's like not meant to be a target man and bring a guy on who's a target man, and suddenly we hold the ball up way worse. Like, see that bit on about 60 minutes in or something, and it's like pumped down the line to Wilson. He like backs in, takes on his chest, and hooks it over to Miggy. I was like, did you see that, Keely? How good that? I was like, that is top draw centre forward play. And then like the big man and Chris Wood comes on. Doesn't win out in the end, does he?
The only mistake from Wilson the whole entire game was you got put through 1-on-1 with Dyer, and I thought you should just try and
he kind of had the step on, didn't he? And then
he just go and take him, like burn him on the outside.
he's probably thinking my fucking hammy's my hammy's gonna take this like.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, one thing I will say is, which is, I think after the Dyer header, which was, remember that the Dyer header was whipped back in and Dyer sort of.
Yes, that was offside though, wasn't it?
Oh, was it offside? Was it? Okay. Well, I think after that,
It was still worrying though.
Shaw, I think it's Shaw, puts Wood through. Oh, so Trippier clears the ball and he gets clattered into by Bentancur or something. And it forced the Shaw, who takes a touch and puts Wood through. Easily 1-on-1. Like he's in behind, and the ref blows up and pulls it back for the free kick because they're both lying on the ground. You fucking just kick each other. It's not a head injury or anything. Let it play on. But he pulls it back. I think that's the free kick. But
I was saying we didn't have an advantage there, but
we did because Shaw took a touch and put because the way they're so high up the ground, high up the pitch, they've only got one centre half back, and Chris Wood.
speedy.
He probably knew that Chris Wood's one of was the advantage there. Let's not waste the time.
Oh yeah, it's so harsh to Chris Wood. I mean, he's pretty much single-handedly saved us last season.
He did that Wolves penalty.
That's it, yeah. But yeah, going into the end, the only other notes I got is like our defence, like how refreshing is as a Newcastle supporter to have a solid defence. It's them the back four. I think I've got like 3 or 4 times noted down. Bottom and Shah, ball controlling, and then Bottom and Shah. Oh here, Son, when he was trying to break, I think Bottom and I kind of shouldered him out the way, and Shah came and took the ball off and just got rid of it. And you saw both of them just as he walked. It was in the background. The camera panned to follow the ball, and you just saw them two in the background just give each other a high five. And like them two have got such a chemistry. Like Bottom and you, I'll just take this guy out without like knocking him off his feet.
Yeah.
Shah came and covered it. Class seeing them two just communicate and just know what each other's thinking.
And it's good as well because you're getting the old hand of like what 29 or something. Shah is and they're coming up to 30. He'll be about that age now.
29.
International, played a bunch of games, been in a few tournaments and all. Probably knows all the dark arts. And then you've got like the young guy who like he's
in the provisional squad for Holland, isn't he? For the World Cup squad.
If he's not good, I mean, I don't know who they're taking. Like, oh, is that Longley? He's not. He's Dutch, isn't he? Take him, he'll stand there. Take him as your wall practice. Still stuck on his thumb.
With the draft exclude at the bottom of the wall.
Oh, Christ! Well, yeah, I think it was Redknapp afterwards. I was watching Redknapp and not Real Les Ferdinand talking after the game, and Redknapp was just saying like that guy 22. We've had some good I think his words or something. We've had some great Premier League defenders, but this guy 22-year-old, he could be right up there with the best of them. Like,
yeah,
it's true. Like, by the way, he looks unbelievably good. Like, I think because where Bruno plays and he dictates the game and runs the show, you kind of feel like, and Trippier's on the ball, like, you kind of feel them to have had the biggest impact. But honestly, like, that guy is like...
Botman's fallen into the same category as Bruno now, where if everything goes according to plan, he could be part of the squad that goes into winning stuff and has no seal.
He's got captain to love, man.
Yeah.
He's got the armband at 23, 24. Like, he's got, when Trippier's gone in a couple of years' time, he's got the armband.
Do you remember when we did the who was Botman in the summer, the pod when we just signed him?
Oh yeah.
And he went on loan somewhere and he ended up being captain whilst he was on loan.
Mad. What was he, like 20 or something, or 21 or something there?
Well, yeah. No, he'd been even younger, because we signed him as 21, so he's only just turned 22, so must be 18 and 19 going on loan and get given the armband. It's impressive.
Yeah, he was absolutely quality. But did you ever feel, this is the difference I think in us when we're tight game, really good opponent, they've got loads of threat, they're throwing like players on, obviously more comes on and everything else. Same against Man United, although they did a lot of pressure towards the end of the game, but I never really felt like, oh, it's definitely coming. Do you know what I mean? I'm feeling that less and less, which is nice.
It's weird. The Man United game was different to this one. Whereas Tottenham, Kane didn't seem to be at it. Son seemed a bit burnt out. Whereas Man United still looked like they had a bit about them and like they still had some energy. But yeah, Tottenham just, I don't know if it's like they've got a bit of a hangover from the midweek defeat at Man United or what. But yeah, it was refreshing not to be sat there thinking it's coming.
I think part of the Man United thing is that it will be very typical of Man United to have gone on and won that game, like, and like not really deserve to win the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I think Spurs, because they've been Spurs in the past, it's not very typical of Spurs to go on and win that game. So Spurs tend to blow us away, or we tend to like get something out of the games from them.
I thought Man United beating Spurs midweek was actually going to work against us, where Conte was going like, right, fuck this, we need to go and make a statement and like go and smash Newcastle, but it didn't happen. Midweek though, you were there.
I was there, mate.
Everton, yeah. I know it's nearly a week ago now, isn't it? But yeah, talking about Everton, man, how was it?
It was good. Atmosphere was good. Sat at the Leazer's end, which is it's different under Wednesday night lights.
Yeah, the big lights.
The big city lights on a Wednesday night. It was good.
Did you go with your brother?
With my brother, yeah. Had a couple of beers beforehand. And I thought, like, I don't want to talk about the game too much because it feels like old news now, but I think it was pretty frantic in the first 10-15 minutes. I don't think anybody could really get on the ball, like, or we seem to be a bit everywhere. And they're quite like with their sort of midfield with that Decore, Onana.
Decore didn't start this game,
who else started them?
Is it Gay he's called?
Oh, Jusagay, Onana and Iwobi. They've got like lots of energy and stuff, and I think that, I think they looked like they were kind of right up for it. But then we kind of took control of the game from about 15 minutes to about just before half time, and we played some class stuff, like.
Yeah.
The goal, obviously, we scored was brilliant. Miggy's goal, like.
Miggy. It doesn't matter. Miggy's goal on Sunday or Miggy's goal on Wednesday.
Which one of Miggy's 5 goals?
Before it's like Miggy's goal in 2018 or Miggy's goal in 2020.
Yeah, it was quality. I think Joe Linton gets it and he lays it back to Bruno, but he can't hit it. But he takes a touch and his layoff is just like, it's the simple things, but it's so perfect. Like,
it's like silk, isn't it? Just the right way, not too fast, not too slow. Gives Miggy a chance to take his little step. And it was interesting the Howe interview after the game. He says that's a great team goal because if Joe Linton's not there in the box, that goal doesn't happen. and the fact that we were committing so many players into the box. So lots of people think, oh, it's a Bruno assist, which it is. But the fact that Joe Linton's actually put himself into the box, his work ethic to get there as well.
Yeah. Well, it's similar to the Miggy goal today. It doesn't happen if Longstaff doesn't press Sessegnon early. Like, he's breaking from centre midfield to bust to get out there, that big pitch at Spurs. No, you got to give him a bit of credit as well for that. But yeah, if you play some class stuff, the little flick that goes into it's a Bruno. He plays like a little sort of Cruyff flick, and then a little 1-2 goes out wide to Miggy, gets put back in to Trippier. Trippier pulls it back to Bruno, who takes a touch and swivels and puts it wide.
Yeah,
I was like, that is going to be. I was like, is that Arsenal? Is that like Wenger's Arsenal years ago? I was like, it was so good. I thought if Miggy could, if Miggy could have been on the end of that, if Bruno can finish that, that's our goal of the season. Like, it was so good. It was such a lovely bit of play, and we played a lot of good stuff in that. But then second half, like, I think Everton came out. It's obviously difficult because I've only seen the small highlights after the game, so it's difficult because you get like a perception of how you feel the game is when you're there, but then you watch the game, something like, I didn't feel like that when I was at the ground, but the second half, I felt like Everton were like fired up and put a lot of pressure on the ball, and we seemed to sort of lose our way a little bit, and we seemed to hit the channels a little bit and just try and recycle the ball and press. And
wasn't our best performance. We did well to come away with a 1-0 win, and I suppose that is signs of a good team when you can not play at your best, come away with a clean sheet, 3 points. Like, you look at teams that go on to do well in the league, and I don't want to say win things and curses, because I'm still worried, just for the record. That's when you start seeing this team's good.
Thing is, though, that all being said of us not playing well, Everton didn't have a shot on target.
No.
And they didn't look like having a shot on target, really. Calvert-Lewin had, I think, a header over the bar like early on, the first 10 minutes, and then Calvert-Lewin was just absolutely anonymous. Like, Botman and showered. He's muggy. He thinks he's going to score today. You joking, aren't you? And I loved Craig Gordon. Is it Craig Gordon? No, Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon.
I always thought Craig Gordon. Anthony Gordon and Trippier had a bit of a spat, and then Shaw comes running over, and everyone gets involved.
Leave my captain alone.
But then, Eddie Howe after, he said that, I want the guys to really fight for each other on the pitch, and I want everyone to stick up for each other. And yeah,
it's good, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you might have said, like, Anthony Gordon will be wanker anyway. So
yeah, they cut the interview before that Park game on, didn't it?
But yeah, all in all, like, the only issue I would say is that in the second half is that we seemed to Iwobi. We made Iwobi look like he was like Kevin De Bruyne with dreads. Like, he was just cutting about the gaff, had all the space. He kept getting on the ball for about 20 minutes spell. We just couldn't get time down at all. But he's shite, so it's all right.
He's that shite. He scored the winner against us at Goodison.
It's the only thing he's done, though.
Yeah.
But no, he actually had a good game, and I actually think he's like Lampard's actually done pretty well with him. Like, turning him into this sort of. He obviously saw Joe Linton become midfielder. I thought I could probably do that with that Obi kid.
Yeah. Any kid up front that can't play it right, let's just try that.
Yeah,
but Everton seem on a, not the same as Newcastle, but on a upward trajectory, you'd say, wouldn't you? Overall, like, they had a good win this weekend as well. So
I think he's done a pretty good job. If you think of sort of Lampard, Gerrard, Eddie Howe, like all like those kind of newish managers to their clubs, I think the difference between Gerrard versus Lampard and Eddie Howe.
Gerrard hasn't got a job.
Absolute thug life. No, the difference is
there you go. You can cut that. There's one of your clips for the week, mate.
So I think for Howe and Lampard, it's the integration of the new players. Like, they've actually got them playing in the side and playing well.
Yeah.
Gerrard hasn't really got a tune. Obviously, he can't really help. What's his name? Diego Carlos rupturing his Achilles leg, but
yeah.
I mean, he probably shouldn't have smashed Tyrone Mings in the media just beforehand. Yeah, but if you think like Cody, Tarkovsky, like, they've come in and they've like made them definitely a better side. Jusake makes them better. I like that Onana in midfield. Obviously, he'll be somebody's dream team name next season. Onana, what's my name? Yeah, I think they like look a pretty decent side. The only thing I would say is, like, obviously, I'm seeing all that. Forgetting Dele Alli was 40 million, but Neil Maupay is such a bad. Like, he hasn't been prolific for like 3 seasons. Why are you saying him to be a guy who scores goals? Because he didn't score any at Brighton.
That was a strange sign, that one.
But probably just needed a striker, I guess, because Calvert-Lewin. Because also, like, if they can get Calvert-Lewin fit and playing again, because I think he's quality, like.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, solid.
Looking ahead to this weekend, though, mate, we've got Aston Villa.
Yeah, no longer Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa.
No
sadly,
longer.
I wouldn't mind him still being in charge for another game.
I know, yeah, especially their bounce back I've had as well. Was it 3 or 4-0?
It was 4-0 finished. Watkins got one later on, I think, make it 4. 2 for Danny Ings, 1 for Bailey.
Yeah,
take my dream team, did you?
I know. I watched part of the Villa game, and I saw Bailey. I was like, he's fucking shite. He's not in my dream team. Couldn't wait to get rid of him. Took a -4 to get him out. Yes, just anyone who hasn't seen us on Twitter, I had 30 points on my bench this week. So there was Ward, I had Trossard, I had Nico Williams, and who's the kid at Fulham everyone's got? Pereira. So I had like 30 points on my bench, and then I took a 4-point hit to bring Foden in and got rid of Bailey.
Foden only got 1 point as well, didn't he? Because he didn't even start.
Yeah. So yeah.
The pep roulette, man. Gets everyone.
That's it, yeah.
But yeah, Villa, we're at home. I think we're a different beast at home. So, still think it's very winnable, this.
Think there'll be any new manager bounce if a new manager comes in?
Yeah, I think either way there'll be not the old manager bounce, like often happens. Clearly, there's bad form side in Brentford 4-0.
Yeah.
So, they're a good side. In terms of squad, I think they've got a decent squad. I just think they've got no cohesion when they play. Still fancy Newcastle. I still fancy Newcastle.
So you walk into Villa at home confident?
Yeah, I'm confident. Yeah, I think we can get. I don't think we should be losing that game. Not at all. Like, I don't think so.
I'm worried about it, so that means we're probably going to
win. What do you do though? Like, what do you do with that side? Do you maybe go a little bit more attacking, play Murphy, pull? Who would offer you probably more of an attacking threat than Joe Linton would. Maybe bring Joe Linton back in the midfield. And
it might seem daft, but when I saw the side and saw everyone fit, again, I suppose it depends if Murphy's carrying a knock. I can't believe I'm saying this. I was thinking, why don't you have Joe Linton on the bench or Willock on the bench and actually start Murphy?
Well, what that does as well, it means you've got a natural placement out wide in Fraser to come on, and because you don't need to ever take Miggy off.
Yeah,
like you generally don't, do you? You keep placing 90 minutes all the time, so you've got that natural set of fresh legs, and then you've also got like a Willock or a Joe Linton come off the bench into midfield to freshen up the midfield as well. Because that's where I always feel like between those midfield three, that's where the work's properly done on this side. It's a bit like Liverpool and the Klopp and Liverpool, like those workhorses that are like really trying to win the game and win the ball back and press and then give it to the front players. Like,
because it's good to see Shelby came off the bench in a few minutes, so he's probably not going to be getting a full 90 minutes till after the World Cup now anyway, but if he gets some sub appearances and starts getting up his fitness again, and we're doing all this, without Maxi, who some people would still class as our most creative player, and Isak, our record transfer
signing, that's that, innit?
And bar Bruno, Shelby was one of the main catalysts last season as well.
Yeah, I think actually that this is where we're going to be the best version of Newcastle, like post the World Cup, because parties like, oh, you want Dan Burn to go for Newcastle, all that, but I want Callum Wilson to go. Really, I don't want Callum Wilson to go.
I know, yeah.
Like Callum Wilson goes and tries to do a Cruyff turn and breaks his fucking ankle.
Yeah, when you get them, when we were kids, you had them old school like toys, where they were like the white polystyrene boxes wrapped up. While Wilson, after every game, just wrapped up in cotton wool.
Yeah, I don't want him going anywhere near that World Cup.
No, I don't want him sent off all the way to
Callum Wilson's a good player now, take him.
No, you get lost over there. There's all sorts of crap. You just stay.
Although I will say it though, I do think Callum Wilson should be going to the World Cup. I know. Like, who else are you taking? Like, you can't take Calvert-Lewin. It's way too soon. He's come back from basically 2 years of injuries. Can't take him. You take Ivan Toney. You probably take Rashford because everyone's fucking loving him in the media all of a sudden, even though he's really done very little, really, except a few good games at the start of the season. But he'll probably go.
I think he'll probably end up just taking 3 strikers, and the rest will be all like the wingers. He's going to play his 4-3-3. Kane will be his first choice. He'll play every minute. Abraham's there as a backup.
Oh yeah, Abraham, yeah.
And then Tony's there just so he doesn't get too much shit off the press and all the fans. There's no need to take a 4th striker.
No. And you take Tony over.
I wouldn't, but I think that's what you will do.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there, but I wouldn't take him either. I still see it like that. Callum Wilson's got more in his locker, I think, than I still think than Abraham. The reason I say Abraham is because Abraham has had plenty of chances in England shirt and never done really anything in England shirt.
I've never seen him playing over in Italy, to be honest. What I've seen in England, he hasn't done anything, so I can only go for what I've read in the stats that you see, so I can't really pass a comment on him.
But anyway, we're digressing, I guess. But
yeah. So Villa, what are you saying?
Home win, 2-1 home win.
Yeah?
Yeah. They've got goals in them, haven't they? Watkins and Bailey and like Danny Ings got a couple
And
today.
Coutinho, whenever he decides to turn up. He hasn't turned up yet this season. Still was that in the back locker.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, it's mad that a player can just be like, because he looked so good, but then suddenly like the Premier League looks too quick for him all of a sudden. It's just that he's just not got up there, has he? Like for
He's not in yet, is he?
He's just not, like for the proper elite level. He just hasn't got it, like, because he's got everything in the book, like, for it to be top draw. Like, but since the last couple of years, like ever since the Barcelona move, just never had it really. Except that time when he was on loan at Bayern Munich and helped not Barcelona, his parent club, out with the Champions League.
Strange times. So, for the record, I'm going to say I'm worried, but yes, I think you're right. We should be picking up 3 points. Newcastle in the top 4. Teams are starting to look at us and thinking, well, this team's going places. Commentators, press, TalkSport, Sky, whoever people are talking about Newcastle right now, they're having to come off the bandwagon of like, it's just a run, it's just the bought Bruno and they brought Isak for 60 million, spent all this money. You can't say it anymore. They've got a squad of 15, 20 players that are all getting trained, all singing off Eddie Howe's hymn sheet and doing an incredible job.
Do you know what's actually interesting is Carragher's comments. He's like one of the few that has said, you can talk about the money you spend and all that, but look at the players that's been improved. Look at Almiron. Look at like Murphy. Look at Shaw. Like, he made the point of, you look at the players that's already been here. Obviously, do you know what I said to Michaela the other day? I was like, I've never seen a player improve so much as Almiron. And then I remember Joe Linton, who used to be absolutely shit.
And so, yeah, you don't remember Joe Linton? He's just been that good for so long now.
He's true that, like, I was sitting in the midst, I was like, Almiron, I've never seen a player. And I was like, actually, when I have.
Just can't actually engage in all these football conversations.
She's just
talk at her.
I just talk at her like soundboard. I think she's not even sitting there sometimes.
She left one upstairs 20 minutes ago.
Anyway,
there we go. But hey, what a time to be a Newcastle supporter. Top 4, Champions League, here we go. But yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe, get us on. We haven't even done all the social media, but you can find us. If you go on any social media, search NUFC Top Pod, you'll find us. You're going to get us individual, Glenn_NUFC.
at Giannis NUFC.
Cool. Have a great week. Choose down done.